the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Like I said, like we play with a chip on our shoulder at Tennessee. So, you know, we get a lot of disrespect. So we want to make it clear that we're going to come out and dominate day in and day out.
Just, man, last year is over. We had a good year last year, a great year last year. And understanding that we can't just show up and that happen again, right? We got to put the work in. Last year's team put a lot of work in to get where we were. So, you know, being able to match that, right, or put in more work and understanding that, you know, it's not just going to get handed to us this year just because we had a good year last year. So
it's, you know, here it's Tennessee, so, you know, we're going to get the best guys here. You know, that's just every year. Every time we're out there, it's competition. You know, nobody has a spot, nobody's comfortable. We're all working.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it before. I can feel it again. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it in hands. I can feel it in time. I can feel it coming in the air now.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
My name is the X Factor.
And I'm Coach Jay.
You know, you two guys make me happier than anybody because I think you actually truly enjoy that new intro. Like, some people hate it. You two guys dance in the back room as much as I do while it's playing.
I love it too. Like I said, I really, really do. And guys, believe it or not, yeah, you see the equipment back there in Coach Jay's room right there. Rumor has it he probably produced that. He probably mixed it a little bit. It's a rumor.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Wait a second. Is that you in that mask? Have you seen the guy that has done that song? He's got like this white mask on. I don't know the dude's name. He's all over YouTube doing mashups. It's Coach Jay. It's Coach Jay.
Yeah, confirm or deny. You know, I can't confirm or deny.
Very interesting. It's the fan call-in show. We've not done one in a while. I figured we would throw one in here for spring camp 2023. Look, I'll go ahead and drop the link. The link is out there for Talkin VAWLS Elite and higher. So if you're a member of the Watch Party tier, Boogie's Boss, or Talkin VAWLS Elite, go to the community tab on YouTube. You can jump on the show. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how many people jump on. If you want to figure, hey, wait a second. How do I get on this show? There's a comment pinned on YouTube at the top of the live chat. You can join the channel, become a member. It's only $1 a month. But the more you give, the quicker you get on the show. We do them every single week during the season. We do them, you know, sporadically when it applies. But let's run down the chat. Let's see who's hanging out on this. What is it? What is today? Wednesday? This Wednesday night. Sam Hyatt's here, dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. I feel like Sam's always here. What's up, buddy? Noah James in the house. Robert Clark is here. David Burgess is in the house. Matt Dumit is here. What is up, Matt? Who else we got? Timmy Williams is here. Time to pay your dues. Shane Taylor in the house. Number one Negaball is here. Says hello. Kelly Goodwin in the house. John Hill is here. Joey Carroll's here. What's up, Joey? Good to see you in the chat. James Faust is here. Logan Branham is here. What's up, Logan? Who else we got? Martrain is in the house dropping custom Talkin Balls emojis. Joe's Bazooka is here. We got a couple of super chats coming in. Shane Taylor for $5 says entry fee to the Boom Boom Room. Well, I'm always a fan of you guys paying door fees, entry fees. We appreciate that, Shane. John Hill for 10. Let's go Big Orange. I feel like John says that in the same tone that I say it, so that's the way I read it. But John's basically my brother from another mother. I appreciate that, John. Philip from Wartburg for 10. Finally caught another live. Good to see you in the chat, Philip. Thank you for the super chat. Let me go ahead and update the leaderboard. Notice Philip dropped 1 penny. 1 penny more than John because he knew that would get him on the leaderboard. Just a quick schedule of events coming up this week. Tomorrow morning. What time are we going live, Coach Jay? 11:30 a.m. We're going live for the live commitment. We got a quarterback that is looming. A decision is coming at 12:10 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So Coach Jay and I will be live at 11:30 a.m. Come hang out. We'll take you all the way up to the commitment. Should be a good time. I was thinking, Coach Jay, something we could do with Merklinger is typically we go through, his recruitment, where he's at, the crystal. But maybe we do a little film breakdown tomorrow morning too. We don't have to go as in depth. You don't even have to necessarily do timestamps. We can just kind of wing it.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to bring it up anyway if you wanted timestamps or if you wanted to just break down a couple live. Either way works for me, Boogie. We'll do it.
Yeah, whatever you want to. If you would rather have timestamps, if it makes it easier for you, just jump in there, grab one, let me know, and we'll. That's what we'll do. Seth the 4 for 5. Appreciate that, buddy. Says you already know. Seth paying that entry fee to the Boom Boom Room. Thank you, Seth. Appreciate that. Seth, you got the link. Why don't you get in here and do a little work? Do a little work like the rest of us. Appreciate the super chat, Seth. Justin Sanday is here. What is up? Wrecked says, well. I finally caught a show in time. Brady Hughes, what is up? Good to see you in the chat. The link is out there again for Talkin Balls Elite and higher. We'll see how this goes. It's spring. It's not fall. I get it. The numbers aren't as high. Maybe nobody comes in, and it's just a 3-man show. And we talk about spring camp. X Factor. I feel like I've streamed a lot with Coach Jay lately. You jumped on for the defensive preview, but we're a week into practice. Like you read the practice reports, you listen to videos, you watch what's going on. What are you excited about? A little over a week into spring camp.
I'm a little excited, like I said, to see this defense, man. I'm getting really excited for, like I said, hearing what Tim Banks was talking about. Rodney Gardner. I'm just really excited to really see how we're going to progress this year. And it's like what I've said before. I have really going into this coming season. You have really 2 big question marks. Well, 3. I'll get into the third one here in a minute, but my 2 is like I said, number 1. Which Joe Milton are you going to get? We're all hoping and praying we get this Joe Milton right here. That I won't see this Joe Milton right here. And then number 2 is that, what is this defense going to look like? And especially the secondary, because you got to improve on that secondary in the back. And then I guess you could say the third question that I'm kind of concerned about too is like I said, now this is switching over to the offensive side, is what's the O-line like? Because we need guys on that left and right tackle to protect Joe Milton if he's able to get the job done going into the season. So yeah, I mean, my kind of minor question marks, but overall, I'm excited.
I don't know if you guys ever listen to Kyler Kirbyson. He does. It's a podcast. It's on YouTube too. Him and Reed Bacon. I actually had a conversation. Reed reached out to me on Twitter. And he was like, dude, you care to give me a call? We had about an hour-long conversation. Really good stuff.
Dude. Yeah,
seems like a really good dude. And they kind of like rebranded themselves. They just put out the first one. Something I like about their spring breakdown is because Kyler is a VFL, they get to take in full practices. So he just recently put out a video breaking that down. And I know, X Factor, you're talking about a position that's very important. The tackle position is more important than guard. But he said Javonte Spraggins at guard was out there just wrecking fools. Like one-on-ones, like offensive line versus defensive line, just wrecking fools. And that excites me because Kyler Kirbyson's a guy that, look, back during the Pruitt days, he wasn't sold. And I was like, man, why are these guys so negative? But then Heupel comes in, and they were overly optimistic. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. So I think that they do a good job keeping it real. So that was encouraging. What about you, Coach Jay? A week and a handful of days into spring camp. What are you excited about?
I mean, I think like any Vol fan, I'm just excited about the program period right now. I mean, overall, but just kind of what I've been reading and watching. I'm excited about Mays taking that leadership role and kind of snatching it up and bringing the guys along. I've always thought that that Coop's been a good technique guy, a guy who's maybe made up for a little bit of size and strength even with technique. There's been multiple reports about him just kind of pulling those freshmen, those younger guys, or heck, even second, third year guys out and teaching them the right way to do things and the expectation for the program along the offensive line. So I'm excited about seeing this transfer of leadership across the board. That goes for the defensive side of the ball too. I think Keenan Peely and Gabe Judy Lawley bring a lot of leadership and a lot of experience to this defensive unit as a whole. So I'm really excited about all that leadership. I'm excited about all the $1 Million Man, $50 super chats that are going to be taking place this coming season, and I'm excited just to see the general attitude of the offense once it hits the field under Milton as compared to Hendon Hooker. I mean, as an offense, you kind of take on that quarterback identity to a degree, right? And it's going to be interesting to see. We've seen it in small amounts, but it's going to be interesting to see what that really looks like. How hot can Joe get right from the go with a little bit favorable of a football schedule in front of him, and how much of a role he can get on and how streaky he can get is going to be really fascinating to see. And then, of course, what can these young guys do, right? Can they get involved?
I think it was Jacob Warren. I played the clip of him, and I love that clip. And I know a lot of people in the Facebook group were talking about it, saying, what you did last year doesn't matter. Like that's it. That's in the past. And I love Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Joe even talking about the Orange Bowl, basically said, I watched it once and I was done. Like I watched the tape to see what I did wrong, see what I did right, and then I'm out. I'm moving on, moving forward. But, Jacob Warren also talked about Joe's leadership and how he demands that the offense performs. And he basically said that if one person does not do their job correctly, Milton makes them rerun the rep. And that's
nice
leadership. And Jacob Warren, those words he said of what we did last year, that's leadership. Keenan Peely at linebacker, maturity. I think he's going to bring leadership to this football team. Man, I'm excited. We got a bunch of super chats here. Let's jam through some of them. Number one, Negaball for $10. That ain't cheap. Appreciate that. Says 99-cent club represents. Smash those Milton for Heisman bets plus 1,800. Turn $100 into 1,900. Would you be willing to put $100 on Milton? Maybe if he played for Ohio State or if he played for Alabama, I would take that bet. I don't know that I'm taking that bet when Hendon Hooker can't even get to New York.
Yeah, he got robbed. That's all that was. He got robbed really bad.
Man, the NFL draft buzz coming out about him is kind of blowing my mind. Like, I thought round 3 to round 5 is where I thought. Now he's trending towards the first round, and then there's people out there saying that he would have been the number 1 draft pick had he not blown out his knee. And I love Hendon, man. I love Hendon, but it kind of surprised me.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, honestly, if he didn't go down with that injury, I fully agree. He probably would have been the number 1 draft pick. If not, he would have been number 2.
All right, I got to do something here because John Hill drops another $10 and says there are no good Georgia fans. And then following that up, David Franklin comes in with another $10. That's $20 in super chats. Thank you to John and David both. And says what John Hill said. So when, you guys pay $20, I feel like I don't really have a choice. I feel like I got to give you this. I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none. Thank you guys for the super chats. I feel like you deserve that. You earned it. Wayne for 5. Thank you for super chat, Wayne. He is paying his entry fee to the Boom Boom Room. Wayne is here every time we open the doors. Appreciate that, buddy. Timmy Williams for 10. Tennessee recruitment is going to take off. Love it. Go Vols. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you, Timmy, for the $10. That ain't cheap. You know what else ain't cheap? $50. Jody Wooten with a $50 super chat. Thank you, Jody. That's very generous. Says, never been on the leaderboard before. I want to change that. I'm calling at least 10-2 regular season again this year. Well, there you go, Jody. The leaderboard is updated. You are the leader for this stream. And when you drop a 50 spot, we got to play the clip. So I will play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Thank you for that, Jody. Very generous. We appreciate that. Coach Jay, what do you think? 10-2. What are your? Well, let's we can talk a little predictions. What are you guys expecting going into this year?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a football season, right? A billion things can happen, but I think 10-2 is a really fair expectation for this fan base right now. I mean, we kind of smell a little blood in the air right now, right? We got a lot of positive momentum. We feel like we got the right coaching staff, the right scheme, the right process, the right players going on, and we feel like we have a quarterback coming in with a lot of experience who can spin the ball pretty darn well. And we've got a favorable setup for the first part of the season. So I think 10-2 is definitely a good spot. Over under was what, 9 games?
It started at 8.
Nine
it
and
started at 8.5.
Eight,
And I wonder how much money came in a certain direction because it immediately went to 9.5.
Yeah. I mean, we end up with nine wins. I'm probably not going to cry about it, depending on how those losses happen, right? You really want to see your team go out there and be competitive and play hard and take positive steps forward, no matter the outcome of some of those tough contests like Georgia and heck, even Texas A&M. We'll see if Petrino can turn around that offense. Kind of going to be interesting to see, and certainly we'll see how Mertz does out of Wisconsin and Florida. But Florida seems like they're going to be geared pretty darn heavily towards the run this year. That you kind of got to like that. As a
plays right into our favor.
Yeah, right. And
look, it's a dub. It's a dub.
Yeah. I think Rodney Gardner's their huckleberry when it comes.
If you're going to put a bet on it, I'm taking a win against Florida. But Eric Kane was on the show. What was it? Monday morning. And it's easy to look at the schedule and go 9 wins. And my good friend Uncle Lou, when he puts out these breakdowns and predicts wins and losses by game, that's tough to do. It's easy to say 9, because when you look at the schedule, yes, X Factor, I agree with you. I think they go on the road and they beat Florida, but on the road in the swamp, that's a game you can lose. Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia. That's 4 games you can lose. So you could be looking at 8-4.
Yeah, I mean, you honestly could, but like I said, my hate for Florida, Boogie, is look, just how you hate Georgia fans, my hate for Florida fans is about the same energy. So I'm sorry, it don't matter. We are going down to the swamp, and it's just a dub. I mean, that's all I got to say. But it is tough to play anywhere, on the in the SEC. I mean, it's hard to play anywhere, But now the Alabama game, I'm calling that a toss-up, man, because look, they got that date circled on their calendar just like we have South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida circled on ours. So, I mean, those Bama fans, they are ready for us. So, I'm going to call that a toss-up. Texas A&M, honestly, just going based off last year of their recruiting and stuff, I feel somewhat confident that, we can steamroll them. But then again, I don't know,
How many guys did they lose to the portal? It was ridiculous.
A lot. It was a
ton.
Lot. It was a lot.
A ton. But, I mean, they still got some talent. And, Petrino, he makes offense really fun and simple, right? And I do expect them to improve on that side of the football. How much they'll improve overall with as much turmoil has been around the program. I mean, Jimbo Fisher doesn't seem all that stable lately either. We'll certainly get a feel for it as the season starts to play along. I know some Volunteer fans are worried about that UTSA game, not so much thinking that just UTSA can beat us, but just the sandwich of it after a Florida game on the road and a big revenge game after in South Carolina. But I feel good about all that. And, Bama, Georgia, I know a lot of people talking, neither of them have a quarterback. I think they've got enough talent, both of them, to find someone serviceable. Certainly Georgia, with the defense they have, just needs to find, if nothing else, a game manager. So we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah, and going back to the quarterback play, coach. Yeah, I mean that also plays favor into our hands too, because there's a lot of question marks surrounding those programs too. Like with Alabama, we've seen a little bit of Milroe from last season, so we don't know how he's going to do this season. And then you also got Florida, Anthony Richardson, he's gone. So who's going to be the next QB for that team? So yeah, I mean we don't. I said we only have like maybe 2 question marks surrounding our program, but other programs, they got a little bit of question marks at the QB position, but I'm not going to go and underestimate any of the talent on those teams, But I mean, it's just something just to kind of look at, going forward.
I'm looking at the Gators depth chart right now because I saw somebody else put that in the chat. Ourlads.com has predicted Graham Mertz, redshirt senior, to be QB1. Do you know that name? Does anybody know that name? You do know that name?
I do. Yep. He's the Wisconsin kid. He's the Wisconsin kid, and he's not going to light the world on fire, right? He has his games where he can be kind of on, but for the most part, he's gonna be flatlined for them. I think it can help him to a degree. I think Anthony Richardson was so high and so low that it could help them just to get a little continuity at the quarterback position. And I do think he'll be a little more stable, but he's not going to light the world on fire athletically. He's not going to throw a 75-yard bomb, over a safety's head or something like that. He has games where he throws decently, but it's just not to that Florida level. Yeah, Wisconsin kid. Yep.
Yeah, look at the stats there too. Something that immediately stands out to me: 2022, 19 touchdowns to 10 interceptions.
Yeah.
2021, 10 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Turns the football over a lot. But it's going to be, I don't know that he's going to be penciled in. They've also got listed Jack Miller III as a sophomore, Max Brown, redshirt freshman. So we'll see. Florida doesn't necessarily scare me. I don't know.
So in other words, it looks like a dub to me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But SEC teams gotta take them seriously, guys, or they'll jump up and bite you. I mean, all those kids are talented. Hey, we know it all too well. When we've had bad teams, we've had plenty of talent there, and we could certainly jump up and randomly beat an Auburn. When we have a bad team, maybe one year or something like that.
But how many times have we had the better team and gone down to Florida and lost? Right. So way too many times. But that was under different coaching staffs. So that's also worth noting. VFL Willie for 2. Thank you for the super chat. Does Florida even have a decent QB? I probably should have pulled that up before we started that conversation. But thank you, VFL Willie, for the super chat. Look, it's a fan call-in show, and I'm sitting here with the X Factor and Coach Jay, and I'm trying not to cough up my lungs. That's why I keep muting myself. If I can make it through this stream, it'll be a miracle. But the link is out. If you are a member of this channel at Talkin VAWLS Gold or higher, that's if you give $5 a month or higher, you've got the link. Go to the Talkin VAWLS community tab on our home YouTube page. The link is there. Click that link. Come in here, talk a little ball with myself, the X Factor, and Coach Jay. If not, that's fine. We will roll for about an hour with a 3-man show, and we'll wrap this thing up. We'll call it a night, but it's up to you. It's for the fans, by the fans. Hey, how did the X Factor end up here? How did Coach Jay end up here? Fan call-in show. So get on here, jump on here, and let's talk a little football. Number one Negaval says 99 cent.
99 cent club. Hey, tell them Negaval, it's hard times in the world. Hey, we get it, brother. We get it, brother.
Yep. Those gas prices aren't getting any cheaper. That's a fact.
Hey, that's the truth.
Absolutely. South Carolina this year, guys. I mean, it's a big revenge game, but what y'all thinking?
Oh
What you
man,
expecting next?
I'm expecting a real beatdown. That's what I'm expecting. But you, so here's the thing. It's like what me and Boogie even said, going last season, and we've preached it. We've preached it and preached it and preached it. We was like, guys, they got Spencer Rattler. I mean, look, the guy's cocky. He's got a little bit of an attitude problem, but hey, he's still one heck of a football player. And our fan base was like, no, no, we got him. We're going to the playoffs and stuff like that. Look what happened.
Yeah.
Look what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting, like I said, it's tough, man, because depending on like what this roster is going to do this year, it's really hard to predict what we're going to do this coming season, especially when South Carolina rolls into town. But you can expect that game to be a sold out crowd, like
Oh yeah.
everybody waiting for that game. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, hopefully, like I said, they'll just come into Neyland and we'll just give them a big orange beatdown, which is what I'm hoping for. But
It's
I
going to
don't
be a
know.
hostile environment, but
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm not speaking this into existence because I've already gone on record saying Tennessee's going to beat the absolute brakes off of South Carolina. It is a revenge game. It is circled
Hmm.
on the calendar, circled on my calendar, your calendar, and everybody in that locker room is going to be dialed in for that game. But they've done a good job in the portal, adding talent. And when
Yes.
you look at their roster, I just pulled up their depth chart too. I knew they were returning a lot of guys. Holy smokes. Their starters at wide receiver, senior, redshirt senior. On the offensive line, redshirt senior, transfer, redshirt junior. You got a redshirt freshman starting at right tackle. Tight end, redshirt senior, Spencer Rattler, redshirt senior, running back. That's a lot of seniors. A lot
Hmm.
of seniors returning on that
Hmm.
offense that hung 63 on Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also depends which Spencer Rattler you're going to get too, because there's like 3 games he was just cold, just, throwing interceptions, just not really hitting his targets well. So, and that's the thing you got to play in the factor too. What Spencer Rattler are you going to get? But I think coming off that 3-win streak season high for them, I mean, it might cause a little momentum going into the season, but I don't know. It's just something we just have to see.
Coach Jay, do you think Shane Beamer's for real?
Mm, well, define for real, I guess. Like was was Butch Jones for real? I mean,
That's who he gets compared to all the time
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
the cliches and he's so corny, so goofy.
Uh-huh.
But
Hmm.
man, there's and maybe he eventually just peters out and it's over and done with. He's
Yeah,
Cam Pringle was a huge, and I know that's a South Carolina kid, but he's done a good job recruiting. He's done a good job in the portal. He is doing a good job at South Carolina, and I know we can mock him and make fun of him.
Hmm. Well,
yeah.
here's the thing. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
No, I was just gonna say that I think when their offensive coordinator changed their philosophy last year, deep into the season, it changed the team. Now, where that change came from, I mean, I think it kind of changed for him having nothing to lose because he knew he was gone in that offensive coordinator position. I don't know how many of those changes came from Beamer directly, but maybe he's good enough to know to get out of his own way, right? To let his
Hmm.
position coaches take care of their positions. A lot of times you get a master defensive coordinator, and I'm not even talking about Pruitt. I'm talking about just in general. You get a master defense coordinator, a master offense coordinator that steps into that head coaching role, and all of a sudden they think they're running the offense or they think they're running the defense, and they can't get it out of their own way, and that can be a big problem. I've seen that so many times on the high school level, the college level, the Pop Warner level. I've seen that so many times. So you got to know when to stay out of your way. Like Heupel doesn't need to be up there teaching the D tackles how to get through the A cap, right? Like
Hmm.
he really doesn't need to be doing that. So if Shane's smart enough to stay out of his own way and can kind of play that CEO role, then yeah, I think he can be okay. If he needs to uh, to beat everyone with his own X's and O's, then I have serious doubts about his ability to do so.
Well, and then it goes back to, like I said, with Butch Jones too. I mean, look at the talent we had with his roster, and we wasn't able to get very far. So it's really a testimony to see what he can do at South Carolina. It's like, okay, yeah, you can recruit well, you can get all this talent in, but can you put all these Jimmys and Joes and X's and O's together? I mean, I just see it as a big testimony. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna underestimate the man too much, but I mean, because you look at our situation. I mean, yeah, we had a lot of talent, man. I mean, Alvin Kamara, Derek Barnett. I mean, Nigel Warrior, Juwan Jennings. I mean, we had some major talent, and look what we've shown for it.
Yeah.
Let me hit this super chat real quick from Adrian Wells. $20. $20 is not cheap, and he doesn't say a word. Just says, Boogie, here's $20. Enjoying the show. Thank you, Adrian. Very generous. We appreciate that. Thank you, my man, for the $20 super chat. Tip in the tip jar. Guys, the link is out to everybody. Everybody in the chat, that is a member of the channel. Everybody that is a member of the channel, you go to the YouTube page, you click the community tab. There will be the link. You can click that, jump on. If not, it's cool. I will sit here and talk to the X Factor and Coach Jay for about an hour. We'll wrap things up. We'll go to bed and wake up and cover some recruiting in the morning. Do you guys want to talk recruiting, or do you want to continue let's talk about expectations? Because we all talked about how many games can Tennessee go 10-2. Can they go 9-3? 8-4, I think, is the floor. Like, and somebody in the chat said, yeah, there's no way we're going 8-4. That's the floor for me. 8-4 is the floor. But when we start to talk about expectations, like what does it take to continue the momentum in recruiting? What's up, number one Sunshine Ball? I'm assuming this is number one Negavall, but he is a Sunshine pumper now that Josh Heupel's on board. What's up, my man?
What's up?
Appreciate you coming on, buddy. So what changed you from number one Negavall to the number one Sunshine Ball? Were you a believer when I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Austin Price Friday night? What went through your head the second you heard Josh Heupel was hired?
I've been through a lot of bad hires, so I'm always pretty optimistic, actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I always give him a chance, at least. I mean, we're just 2 years in, and he's done a fantastic job, so I couldn't be more happier with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're staring at a piece of trash, a lot of things look shiny, right? So I think that can kind of be true of some of the coaching situations. We've been staring at a pretty bleak situation. So certainly nice whenever you get a new shiny toy, but to have that toy work correctly, right? To open that nice shiny present and not have it fall apart in a million pieces or not work right, or your aunt forgot batteries or whatever the heck's wrong with it. It's nice to have something that's working.
Let's add a couple of more here. We got Kenny Davis in the house. We also got Robert Clark in the house. Well, Kenny Davis just locked up. As soon as I brought him on, he locked up. There he is.
Yeah.
there he is.
He was, for a second, I thought Uncle Lou was here because he had that phone held up and he was walking, he was pacing. And I was like, Uncle Lou is trying to get back on the show. Guys, do me a favor. Turn your phones sideways and watch the magic of the internet take over.
There we go. Sorry about that, fellas. Totally forgot.
It's a fan call-in show. It's a fan call-in show. The audio may be awful. You never know what you're going to get. But hey, for the fans, by the fans means something around here. Kenny, what are you looking for in 2023? What do you think this team's going to do?
Well, you know me with the whole Nico conversations we've had and what I've been looking forward to. But, after listening to everything y'all been talking about, this whole off season, Boogie, I think I'm kind of on your side, man. I kind of really want to see Joe Milton, take us all the way. Let's see what he can do. I mean, it makes all the sense. I mean, all the video clips that you see of Joe out there with the guys, I mean, he's a true leader. I mean, Nico, he's going to be good. He's going to take us somewhere. But I think I'm with y'all now finally that, he needs his time to sit back and learn and let's let Joe shine, There we go. That's right.
We want this Joe right here. right
I
here.
That's
think
right.
some of it is the conversation I had with AP on Friday night. If you guys watch that show,
Mhm.
what he does on Vol Club Confidential, where you get that inside look of who these kids are. Does that not sway you a little bit? It's easy to criticize a kid on the field that runs out of bounds as the clock expires against Ole Miss. It's easy to get mad at that kid. But when that kid takes ownership and says, man,
Mhm.
I thought I had more time. I made a bad decision. I made a mistake. And then you hear, you see, actions speak louder than words, and the way that he has supported Hendon. And now to hear Nico say the same thing, hey, I want to support Joe the way that Joe supported Hendon. Like that's that leadership. And it all starts with Josh Heupel. That's where it all starts.
It does,
Absolutely.
Heupel's the real deal, man. He's definitely changed the culture. And I live in North Georgia, and a lot of
I'm
my
sorry.
a lot of my members, at the golf course, a lot of them are, Georgia fans, and they're even talking about how impressed they are with Heupel. So I mean, it's cool. I'm riding around the golf course all day, and all the Georgia fans are like, man, let me tell you, you got something special there with that coach.
So Kenny, and what you're saying is there are some good Georgia fans out there.
Yeah, I'm not going that far. Not going that far. they pay my salary, so
What?
So it is what it is,
Right.
I'm starting to think maybe I don't have the best job. You get to ride around a golf course all day.
Yeah, but I get to watch people play golf while I'm actually out there working. So
I would much rather be
I'm not the
playing.
pro. I'm the superintendent. I grow all the grass.
Okay.
They get to do all the playing.
See,
So.
once I quit work, I was like, man, I should try to get on at a golf course and work a day. Like our local golf course, you work a day a week, you get to play free
Get
golf.
free
And I'm
golf.
like,
Yep.
that's what I need to do. Take one day a week, go work at the golf course, play free golf. But then my buddies are going to get pissed because that means we're playing this course every single time.
Every time,
every time.
That's the key. But it's fun work, man. It definitely is. It's a lot of fun.
What's up, Robert? Can you hear us, buddy?
I can.
So what are you looking for in 2023? You what are you thinking? 10-2, 9-3?
I'm thinking 10-2. I think I made a comment on one of your videos the other day saying 10-2 because until we beat Georgia, until we can consistently beat Alabama, it's just hard to pick those as wins. But I think everything else is definitely doable. I know they say Alabama and Georgia, they're both needing quarterbacks, but hey, they've got tons of talent, and their quarterbacks have got tons of talent. They just haven't got the chance to show it on the field yet.
Yep. It's still Alabama and it's still Georgia.
I think Georgia's quarterback position is going to upgrade this year. I think their quarterbacks are better than Stetson Bennett. I maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a Stetson Bennett hater. Maybe I hate everybody that wears.
Do you think their style of offense changes much, Boogie?
No, they're still going to throw to the tight ends and run the ball.
Yeah.
So how are you going
I tend to
sway?
agree, Robert.
How are you going to sway a guy like Ryan Wingo when all you do is throw to the running backs and tight ends?
Yeah.
Oh, they've had great tight ends, so I mean, it's hard to But yeah, if I was a wide receiver, that would be one of the last schools I would pick.
Yeah, because like I said, all the tight ends are going to touch the ball, so they're just like, well, Georgia's out for me.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Because they seen what we did, last season with Jalen Hyatt, so like saying recruits and kids are looking at that and they're like, hey, that looks like a fun offense to play in. And like I said, my quarterback's going to give me the rock, 10 times out of 10. So yeah, that's the school I definitely want to go to. And just think about it, Jalen Hyatt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have him come back this season, but hey, man, go to the league, go get your money,
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, somebody else go. Kenny, go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's kind of like well, you did this video on kind of what Josh Pate said. Now we're actually selling results, man. And we got all these lower star guys that are going to the league, and they're going, first, second, third. They're actually going. What's actually going to happen when we got these real live dudes, man? I mean, what's going to happen? What can Heupel do with these guys? I'm so excited for the future on what he can do and the results that he gave us off of what we had. I mean, he didn't give up. He didn't make excuses. He just pushed forward, put his nose to the ground, and did it. Oh wait, hold on a second. Push cleats to the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
there you
got to
go.
put your cleats in the ground. You
There
got to
you
go
go.
play. Have you? You guys have no idea how much I smiled when I heard Josh Pate basically repeat word for word what I have been preaching. But it's the truth, man. Me and Coach Jay have been talking about it for weeks. This offense can get better, and it will get better. And this recruiting class, man. And we got Merklinger coming up tomorrow, and a lot of people are questioning, well, why does he want to come to Tennessee? Why would you want to go play at Tennessee? Because he sees, he understands, and like, I get it. Competitors want to play. You want to come in, you want to compete, you want to play. But it's like Nico. You're talking about a kid that is, people are calling him a generational talent, and he is perfectly content to come sit behind Joe Milton for a year. Generational talent is willing to sit behind a guy that a lot of people said was never going to have an opportunity. Harrison Bailey's going to beat this guy out. Where are those clowns at? None of those clowns coming back in here. Might have been some of you guys. Some of you guys might have been the one calling me clowns for all I know.
Maybe.
So it's the same thing for Merklinger. Like, it's a perfect storm for him. Come in and sit behind Nico for a couple of years. Nico ain't staying 4 years. It ain't happening. He's going to the league. And Merklinger has the opportunity to come in, the same opportunity that Taven Jackson had, but Taven Jackson chose to go elsewhere. And I don't fault the kid. If he wants to go to Indiana, go chase your dream, brother. But Jake Merklinger is going to be committing to Tennessee tomorrow. And when he does, he's going to have a couple of years to learn the system, grow, develop, and he's going to get his opportunity. Now, does he ever start at Tennessee? I have no idea, but he's got a bunch of talent, man. I get excited. Coach Jay, have you watched this film yet?
Not the whole thing, maybe the first 4 to 5 minutes of it, but yeah, he's got a lot of talent. And do I even really want a kid that I got to guarantee a starting position to as a true freshman? Do I even want that kid? Heupel's been so selective on who he's taken, and really the only time he stuck his neck out with Lin J, he got hit for it, right? He got bopped for it. So he's going to be guarded. AP said it the other night. Even Hype's kind of a guarded guy, and he's got the right culture there. And when you've got a good culture like that, you want to protect that culture. You don't want anything messing it up. And if Nico's, I've said it many times on this channel, he's a good kid, great family, sweet, nice family. He was raised right. And I would have been shocked if he would have shown up and been an attitude problem. It was just the last thing that was going to happen. And if Merklinger is the same at all, which I think he is, if Hype really geared up for him, then I'm sure he's going to have the same attitude.
Yeah, I'm excited for him too, because especially, with Joe Milton, we're going to ride with him this season. And then, he's hopefully going to go off to the NFL as well. And then now you got Nico Mertlinger, and it's like what Boogie always keeps preaching too. You gotta stack those classes, man. You have to, Yeah,
you have to take another quarterback in the next class, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. You're going to take Trent Seaborn in 2027. My new best friend.
He
follows me on Twitter.
He
follows me on Twitter. He's tagging me up. He's saying, "Thanks, Boogie, for the coverage." That's my brother. Trent Seaborn is going to be committing live right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. You wait and see.
So, isn't there supposedly another quarterback that's supposed to be committing, a 5-star guy that was high in our?
Yeah, he's the day on Friday. Jaden Davis.
Jaden Davis. He's going to Michigan.
Yeah.
He's going to Michigan. He had visited Tennessee, and there was some buzz. I think it was last year. It really picked up some buzz because I was getting excited because that kid's a baller, man.
Yeah.
But you're talking about a kid that maybe doesn't want to come sit under Nico, right? Versus Jack Merklinger's willing to come do that. It's tough. The quarterback room is impossible in college football in 2023. It's impossible.
But you think about our quarterback room, if we don't get a quarterback this year, we're going to have Nico and 2 walk-ons is what will be on the roster next year. So we have to get a quarterback this year.
Robert.
Yeah, absolutely.
Robert.
There's no way around it. We have to get a quarterback this year.
He's coming tomorrow, Robert. He's coming tomorrow.
Yeah,
Hey, Robert. See me?
Hey, I'm drinking.
You said,
Coming tomorrow, Robert.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I believe.
Tomorrow we're getting our quarterback.
Yeah.
Steve
Well,
Wiltfong doesn't
At
miss.
noon.
When
Yeah.
Steve, okay, here's the Jake Merklinger story, and I love that. I got lucky. I got so lucky because I just started covering him. I put a video out that said the next Tennessee quarterback. He takes his visit. It goes well. Steve Wiltfong puts in the crystal ball. The kid schedules his commitment immediately after. Read the tea leaves when he takes his visit.
Talking balls, and he knew where he needed to come.
When he takes his visit, Steve Wiltfong puts in the crystal ball. And then the next day he announces his commitment is coming on Thursday.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
of all. Like there's
He's
no
of all.
Steve it's like AP said Friday night. Steve Wiltfong is great at his job, but he also spoils every kid's commitment. That's why when look, a crystal ball that came in 6 months ago means nothing. A crystal ball that comes in 2-3 days before the commitment, go ahead and take it as gospel. Let me hit a couple super chats real quick. Nate Pruitt for 5 says, "What's up, guys? GBO, thank you, Nate. Appreciate that, buddy. Good to see you in the chat." David Speaks for 5. Entry fee Boogie Merklinger for Heisman 2026. He's going to wait his turn. GBO. I think that's a kid.
fair.
Whereas Taven didn't sign up for this, right? I think that's something we got to look at too. Taven Jackson didn't sign up for Nico to come in right behind him. That's the case of getting over recruited. Taven, I was excited, man, when he committed. Like I thought that was going to be Heupel's guy, and then enter Nico Iamaleava, and it's like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up to have this golden arm 5-star kid that everybody loves come in behind me. So he hit the road, and it is what it is. But Merklinger knows what he's getting into, so I think he's going to be patient and wait it out.
Good players want to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I will make
Absolutely.
sure.
And I think even like Gabe Judy Lawley was talking about it, right? I don't know if anyone caught the Club Confidential episode with him. Yeah, but he was just saying, BYU was great and all, I was close with their coaches, family environment, but at the end of the day, if you want to take your career to the next level, this is where you need to be. So
Right.
you need the competition to push you, and the SEC is the place for it right now. Certainly.
Yep.
Certainly.
With all the new teams coming in, this is actually it's going to be our last year to actually have a chance to win the original SEC conference championship, wouldn't it? Because then we have all these new teams coming in.
Yeah.
And then really, are we actually a true SEC anymore? I mean, they should just name us a conference after that.
Well, my expectations too, like going back to what Boogie said, actually my expectations is we should, compete for SEC championship. Like a legitimate me, because Hendon Hooker and Josh Height were joking like, hey, let's go to Atlanta, this past season.
Right.
They were like, yeah, we'll see. No, like for real this time, it's like for real this time because of the talent that we're getting in now, and we want Joe Milton to succeed this season. No, I'm being serious. Like the goal is probably to get to Atlanta this year. So I'm expecting at least maybe 9 wins as the solid floor. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, why do they have? Why are they saying? What do you think the reason is that they're saying that LSU has a better chance going than we do?
It's because
what's his name? Why did I just have a brain fart?
Daniels?
What's the quarter? Yeah, Jaden Daniels. That's why.
That
Dude,
and because
he's off and on, isn't he? Isn't he off and on?
Yeah, he's off and on. And I think, like I said, when Josh Pay, I think when he he brought that up and he said that LSU is ahead of us. I think for me, when I saw that, when I was watching Boogie's video, I was like, that's only because they went to the SEC championship and Brian Kelly is a big named coach, from Notre Dame. So it's like I guess that's why I can see them going ahead of us because it is LSU. LSU recruits a heck of a lot of talent, no doubt.
Yeah, they also don't got to play Georgia and Bama.
Right,
they
exactly.
just play one of them.
So like when I kind of seen that, I wasn't super surprised, but it kind of just left a bad taste in my mouth. I was just like, just because you guys went to the SEC championship, which I'm sorry, but the kid Daniels, he got held up like a trophy. You know what I'm saying, on the field. That's why by Georgia. That's why I was like, I don't see it. I don't see them competing for a natty, not right now.
Yep. It's going to be interesting. The whole change of everything is going to be interesting. between that. I mean, all the conferences are picking up teams, right? So we got a lot of change coming, guys, certainly, and a lot of change to the playoff situation. How many wins is it going to take for an SEC team to get into the playoff, right? You guys tell me. You guys tell me. You know, I don't know.
Well, you got all this rumor out there now about 2 playoffs now. Like, how different is the game going to look 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Like, is there going to be one mega power conference, the SEC and everybody else? And I'm always going to love college football, but it ain't the college football we grew up on. You know what I mean? Like the old school SEC and like rivalries and, you know, the bowl games even have changed. I still love it. I still love the sport, but it's just a completely different thing now.
Yeah, it's going to be upsetting when we're not playing Florida every year.
I agree.
Yeah,
and Georgia too. Like Coach Jay, it's a great point. Like, who else has to play Georgia and Alabama? But there's also it's timing, right? Like they're under Phil Fulmer, Tennessee owned Alabama. Like nobody was complaining about playing Alabama every year.
There's a lot of times that we own Georgia as well. You know, I mean, it just you're exactly right. It's all time. It's all, you know, when that coach succeeds and when that coach is on his way out. You know,
what's up, guys?
What up, Noah?
What's up, Noah?
What's up, Noah?
Look how hard
not
Noah's
much.
working.
I know, right?
Man, I had to sneak in. Man, I had to sneak in here. It's slow, so.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Between Noah and Sunshine Ball, I can get a cocktail and roll a blunt up and
yeah, man.
Good old time, man. I'm ready to go, guys. Shoot.
Got some BC
let's see what
there you go. What we drinking? Yeah, I'm gonna go watch a game with Sunshine this year. That's what I'm gonna do.
See, if I had all those bottles
right there,
they'd be empty.
I wouldn't be able to keep those full. That's just
Is that's the one right there? That's the one.
Water.
He said that's the one.
That's
a good one right there.
Next crap.
Okay, I got you.
Best friend right here.
I'll have to swoop one of those. All right.
So Sunshine Ball,
if we're showing off what we're drinking.
Are you like a little bush light? Now you definitely need that.
Now we're ready.
There you go.
Are you a bottle guy? Are those aged? Are they expensive? Or are they just generic liquor bottles behind you?
I would say I'm a collector. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So,
I mean, on the other side of the room is the ones that I drink regularly.
So what's special about those? Aged bottles, labels,
location,
yeah. Age, it's all of the above, really.
It always interests me because I go in to get my generic Jim Beam. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a couple drinks tonight, have a good time with my boys on Talkin VAWLS Live. And then I see people in there like, do you have anything special? I'm like, man, just give me my Jim Beam and get me out of here.
Right. That's like me. I said, give me my Crown Royal, and hey, I'm going to call it a night.
Although I'm a Buffalo Trace fan, which is hard to find anywhere.
I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm a mojito guy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. I see you.
Now, like I say, if I want to go a little high dollar, like I said, with the whiskey bourbon, man, I'm telling you, Knob Creek, that stuff is really good. And that's something I don't share with any of my friends. That's a personal, crack it. Like I said, look, gotta have it two on the rocks. You know what I'm saying? Mix it with a little Coke. Hey, that's all I need.
My dad tells me, because my buddy came over last weekend. And he's like, man, I'm buying the drinks. I'll bring whatever. He goes, gets Bullet Bourbon, and he gets the aged 10 years stuff, pays a bunch of money for it. And I'm like, you going to get mad when I pour a little Coke Zero in this? He's like, I don't care. Do what you want. Because my dad tells me, Xavier, when you pour Coke Zero in it, now you're screwing up 2 drinks. You're screwing up the Coke Zero and the bourbon. So that's what
Jack
you're doing.
And Coke. That's my favorite, Jack and Coke.
There you go.
All right, let me hit this super chat from Bleed Orange 31 for $20. That ain't cheap. Says, what up, Talkin VAWLS Nation? Nice dang evening to talk UT football. Looking forward to meeting you at the spring game, Boogie, and everyone else that makes it. Yeah, that's a good segue, good plug. April 15th, 2:30 kickoff. We're going to be tailgating at 11 a.m. in the G10 parking garage. That's right outside the stadium. Hopefully on the top level, we'll see. We're just going to drive down, see if we can get that top level. If not, we'll be second floor, third floor. We'll figure it out. I will probably post it on the community tab and let you guys know where we're at. So I hope you guys come hang out. It's going to be a good time. BYOB. I ain't bringing a grill. I ain't bringing sandwiches. I ain't bringing nothing but a cooler and myself. And we will hang out and have a good time. The X Factor's going to be riding down with me. JP's going to be riding down. Look at Noah with his power T there.
There you go.
We're going to have a good little crew rolling down from East Tennessee. So it's going to be awesome, man. I know Dauber's going to be there. So hopefully you guys will come hang out and have a good time. It's going to be fun. Let's see. Arkansas Vols in the house. What is up, Arkansas Vol?
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh, he's driving.
How's it going?
There you go. Going good.
This is the Talkin Trucker Network.
There you
Everybody
go.
that is a fan of this channel is a trucker, and I love it because my dad was a trucker.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
mine
where are
too.
you at right now, Arkansas Vol?
What? You cut out.
So where are you at right now?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm in
we
Chicago.
Can hear you. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Chicago. Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You brought your gun,
Oh,
right?
I'm about done. No, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm about done. I'm almost at our yard, and I'm done for the day.
Nice. Very
Out of
nice.
all the recruits that we got out of this class, which one do y'all think is going to be the one that improved, like it shows the most improvement their first year?
On
Out of the
offense
class
or
of
defense?
23?
Carter.
Either one. Like,
It's
really hoping
Arian for
Carter.
me.
Arian, yeah, I was thinking
Yeah,
that as well.
Arian.
Well, he came in as a dog, though.
Yeah, I was going to say most improvement. That's two different
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he came in as a dog. I mean, there's been nothing but great things said about him. You know.
You got to remember, he's only played linebacker for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one I'll
He's
roll
probably
with.
got the highest ceiling too.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
If you're talking most improved, who makes the most improvement? Who are people talking about that they weren't Christian Conyer? Because he had Ricky Gibson, Jordan Matthews, both basically recruited over him, 4 stars. Christian Conyer, one of the top players out of Kentucky. I think he's a dog, man. I think he's a kid that's a lot of people are going to be talking about. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but I think Christian Conyer is gonna be a player.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to see, like, saying Aaron Beasley go at it again because, like I said too, in that Orange Bowl, that man was unreal. Because, and you guys know me, like I said, I was a big, Jeremy Banks guy, and then all that stuff happened. But Aaron Beasley, man, when he took over, I mean, that kid played lights out.
Yeah.
He's that dude, man. He's the dude.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how some of these freshmen from last year can improve as well. Your James Pierce's, your
excited to see
Joseph's, your
Squirrel go out.
West, all those kids. Yeah, Squirrel, man. Hey, every time you put on a video of the spring practice, he is so crisp, guys. He is just fast and crisp out of his breaks.
I think he's faster
He looks
than
like
Hyatt.
a pro. Yeah, he looks like Edelman out of his breaks or something. He looks crisp.
And
We're
he got
gonna-
that
could be
connection
scary.
with Joe Milton. They have that connection.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of connection from Joe Milton to Squirrel White. So, guys, be ready to see that this coming season.
a couple 60-yard
Now-
bombs. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Now, if we're saying most improved, I mean, or when he's going to show off the, from where he's at, you'd have to say probably Devin House because he's coming in with the hurt shoulder, so he ain't really able to do too much. But the ceiling's super high for him. So as soon as he gets well and gets in there, I mean, I think that he's going to skyrocket.
Now hold on a second here, Sunshine Vol, Nega Vol, whatever your name is. Is this your wife? Don't lie to me.
Oh man, it is. It is.
Yeah. I've been there.
$20. That ain't cheap.
Nice.
He says, love seeing sunshine on the
There
line.
we go.
Dude, I'm glad you're on here.
Let's
Have you
go.
been on a fan call in before?
Never.
I love it
That's
because
awesome. Yeah.
you're always in the chat. You're always in the comments. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a fun little thing, man, because it's kind of like a lot of people don't get it when you're like, oh, Boogie calls me the Sunshine Ball because your name was Negaball, but you were always dropping optimistic stuff. So it's like a little inside joke between us.
It's pure irony.
Yeah, that maybe other people didn't get. So it's fun, man. I'm glad you jumped on tonight. And your wife dropping a $20 super chat say she loves your
That ain't
smiling
cheap.
face. That ain't cheap.
That ain't cheap.
There you go.
That's awesome. I love it. I
Yeah.
love
It's a family thing.
Love random
There you
team.
go.
Talking a little conference alignment. What will they do? It's all rumor at this point. Correct. What's the 26 Tennessee schedule look like? For example, Just picked up some Casey Jones bourbon. Good stuff. We got a bunch of alcoholics around here, apparently. Thank you, Logan, for the 10. We talked a little bit about that. I think the schedule is going to be what? Kentucky, Alabama. Is that what it? What was it? What did it? Kentucky, Alabama,
South Carolina. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Isn't
South
that
Carolina. It was South Carolina and Bama.
Vandy and Bama.
Vandy.
Vandy.
Yeah.
Okay. Vandy. Is
I
that
can
weird?
live with that.
I can live with that all day. I'll take that.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
South Carolina
It'd
was
be
a
more-
little weird. Like Kentucky,
It is
Vanderbilt,
weird.
Bama made a little bit more sense. Like I get it. You know, Florida, Georgia, that's rivals too. But that's because they're successful. You don't really
Yeah.
get geared up for a Vanderbilt game. Maybe 5
Right.
years ago we did, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
you know,
happy medium between Kentucky and Florida, right?
But that's the thing. I mean, I would have rather had Kentucky, but I would much rather stuck with and had Florida. Would have been great. I mean, South Carolina, where the hell they come from? Come on, man.
Well,
it's
I
weird.
mean,
It
for
makes
me,
no sense to me.
for me with
No.
Kentucky, I mean, listen, just get them out of here. We're their daddy. Get them out of here. They're a basketball school. You know what I'm saying? You guys know how I am about my hoops, but get them out of here. They're a basketball school. But like I said, keep Florida. I mean, just keep
Yeah.
Florida. But it's not gonna
It's
happen.
such
It's
a
not gonna
fun
happen.
game. I know.
Yeah.
And my whole family lives in Florida. And they're all Florida fans. It's so fun. And now, every other year. Damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Make
They're
them fun
probably
when we
sad.
get them.
But I mean, I am excited to see Texas though. Now, I think that's going to be a little fun rival right there, though. Like I said, Battle of the
Agreed.
UTs. I think that one's going to
Agreed.
be pretty fun because
Yeah,
especially it showed in basketball. You know, this season. You know, I mean, that was actually a pretty dang good game. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Battle of the UTs.
Only
Yeah,
one
that'd be
real
interesting.
orange.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
We're going to have a little trophy that goes back and forth, the real UT type of trophy. I mean,
Yeah, because they
it'd be
said
nice.
they think that they're the real UT and they want to go around and
It
all
dri-
that.
Look, it drives me insane. Anytime I Google UT, Texas comes up first. I'm like,
Yep.
what the hell is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
What the
it does.
hell? So it drives me insane.
Yep.
Kelly says we still play everyone every other year. Yeah, but it's not the same, man. You want that every
Yeah,
year
it is.
rivalry. Every
Yep.
oh, Coach, look at that beautiful Coach J emoji. If you want to be able to use that emoji in the chat, you can become a member of the chat. I got to plug memberships, man. Memberships are dying a slow and painful death, and I get it. It's March. It's not football season, but hit that join button down below. It's $1 a month. That's it. Just $1 a month. You can become a member of this channel. You could be on the panel right now if you remember the channel, but also you're supporting what Boogie's trying to do for a career. So I would appreciate that. Also, you can go check out the merch. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Appreciate all the support. Vols by Fitty. That shirt I thought would sell way more than it did. I like the design. I think it's crisp. I think it's clean. State Pride, probably one of our top sellers outside of Buck Fama, which is no longer available. Should I bring it back? I'm thinking about it. I'm also
I
thinking
think
about
we need to wait. You need to wait until next year. And
I'm gonna wait till
see if-
fall if I bring it back
Yep.
at all. But I'm also
Yeah, make it
thinking
like
about,
the McRib.
thinking
Yeah,
about doing
exactly.
a limited edition Fuga shirt. I mentioned that maybe on a might have been an NCAA stream. Just
No, I'll buy that one.
FUGA. That's all it says.
I'll-
FUGA. You can figure out what it means. You can make up whatever you want. But I'm thinking I'm going to bring that one coming up this fall as well. We got 140 some people watching. Make sure you guys do smash the thumbs up. Don't forget to join me and Coach Jay early in the morning. What did I say? 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Jake
Yeah.
Merklinger, 4-star quarterback, going to be committing at 12:10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to take you all the way up to his commitment. We're going to break it down. Going to be a good time. Come hang out with us for a morning stream tomorrow. Wayne says, already got my Buck Fama shirt. I'm good, bro. I'm good. David Speak says, you made it to 20K. We did. We did. That's a big
Yes,
milestone.
congratulations.
Now it's like, what now? Like, do you look ahead to
30K.
21 or
30K.
25 or 30K?
50.
X Factor.
X
X
Factor.
Factor. I'm looking subscriber by subscriber by subscriber, one at a time, man. If I
Yeah.
wake up and gain 3 subscribers, I'm happy.
It's like, hey, it's just like, and I know, like I said, Boogie, we always talk about, you're a Rocky guy, and so I love the Rocky movie stuff. It's like what he said in the Creed movie. I say one step, one punch, one round at a time. So
that's what we're doing around here. It still blows my mind, man. Still blows my mind that we're doing the dang thing. Aaron Duck says 11:30 early. Man,
Mhm.
well, you taking advantage not working for the man. Yeah, 100%. Well, we got a commitment coming at 12:10. We got to go live a little bit early so we can
Mhm.
break it down, talk about it. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, like I was saying, hopefully it's not a Cam Pringle type commitment where
It's
they
not, Coach Jay.
mess
Stop
around
it.
for
No, don't jinx
3
it. Don't
hours.
jinx it,
Okay.
man.
I didn't
No,
mean
what?
where he's committing. I meant
Can't,
the
it was a
crap
disaster.
show of a production.
Was
that
it just
was.
me and you? Were you live with me for
I
that
wasn't
one?
there. I was watching it, but I was like, man,
I was
I
watching
don't know
y'all.
what is
I
going
can't remember
on.
who was live with me for that one. It was a disaster. It went on forever.
Yeah.
I think I was.
say,
I think I was watching.
it was. Yeah, it was. You had two. I thought it was Xavier and what's his face, the other guy that used to be on that disappeared.
Gabe?
Was it
Gabe.
JP? Oh, was it
who's-
Gabe?
Yeah.
Was Gabe on for that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Gabe's doing
Yeah.
ayahuasca in the desert.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca.
Yep.
He's on a life journey, is what
Yeah.
I've been told.
You guys think it's too much to ask for a national championship?
Yes.
You can
Not
ask.
Yeah, this
ask.
year?
You can ask.
This
Just don't
year.
demand.
Yeah.
Don't demand. Don't demand. There's a difference.
Yeah.
That's another 2 years down the road, I think.
Well,
I just want
mean,
one so bad, man.
listen, the year 2024. Hey guys, that might be our year. And
It might.
just
24,
allegedly, it
25.
might be our year. I know we say
Allegedly.
as Tennessee fans, we say that every single year, but no, but for real though, I think, like I said, the way recruiting is going, and Josh Heupel keeps bringing in this talent, and we got to continue to keep winning games this
Yeah.
season. Like, dude, I think 2024 or 25 it could possibly be the year.
Well, let's talk about 2024 because that's the year a lot of people say, hey, that's our year. Like 2023 is this weird.
I'm saying 14-0.
It's this weird gap year. 2024 is our year. Let's look at what the roster is going to look like in 2024. All right. Wide receiver, Chaz Nimrod he's going to be what? A redshirt sophomore. On the outside, on the opposite side, could be Dante Thornton, could be Caleb Webb. Does Nate Spillman come along? Is there somebody else in the transfer portal? You don't know. Squirrel White is still going to be in the slot. So Chaz Nimrod, a kid that's made a lot of progress, a lot of buzz, a lot of hype last year. Caleb Webb, ton of talent. Dante Thornton, ton of talent. Squirrel White is what it is. Offensive line, I don't necessarily know that I need to dive into that. That's going to be a gigantic question mark in 2024. Quarterback, Nico. Tight ends, huge question mark. Ethan Davis, I'm excited about. A lot of people are excited about. Again, Nico's going to be your quarterback, your running backs, Jalen Wright, Dylan Sampson. I think you're going to be fine there. Defense is where I start to get excited in 2024. Tyree West is going to be a junior. Joshua Josephs, that's going to be a junior. James Pierce, junior. Omar Norman Lott's going to be a senior. There's Bryson Eason is the guy that's penciled in to start this year. He's going to be a senior in 2024. Linebacker, Arian Carter, Elijah Herring, side by side. Sign me up for freaking that every day of the week. Your secondary, do those freshmen coming in take a step where they can contribute as sophomores? You got some talent, boys, in 2024.
Yeah, you're going to have some talent. You even got at center, Addison Nichols. I'm excited about what he can do at center coming in. He'll be a redshirt sophomore, 2 years under his belt. A good-looking kid. Is this schedule that I'm looking at on FB schedules correct for the 2024 season? Is that a locked-in schedule?
I don't know if it's locked in or not.
South Carolina's there. Bama's there.
I did see that.
There.
I did see. I think we're playing North Carolina State
on FBschedules.com.
I don't know because that's going to change.
It opens Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State, UTEP, Georgia, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Bama, Florida, Kentucky, Missouri.
Because you're going to the new schedule that year.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah, I didn't know if it was set since those three teams are in there. I didn't know what to expect.
When you think about it, if we're looking at that year, you could always go off of, our defense is vastly going to improve just by looking at who we have on the roster. But then you have the question, we're going to, like I said, we're going to be able to protect the quarterback. And then also, like what you hear in all the media nowadays still to this day is, our offense is just a gimmick and it's going to get figured out. Is it going to get figured out by then? Or Heupel just keep adjusting and making little tweaks to make
Heupel's
sure that
offense
he's
going
one
back
step
to
ahead.
Missouri when he was the offensive coordinator, and they still haven't
Yep.
figured it out.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
Because that was my question too: is this going to work in the SEC? Even though it worked the first time around, and then he went to Central Florida, and it still worked. Like,
I mean, even the great Nick Saban,
Yeah, 'cause
man.
when
Like I
Missouri-
said, when we beat Bama, he still couldn't really figure us out.
They only
Yep.
call it a gimmick
Yeah.
offense because they can't stop it.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you got Jalen
Yeah.
Hyatt running free, matched up with the same dude over and over and over because that's who Heupel wanted him matched up on, and you can't stop it. Somebody's playing checkers and somebody's playing chess.
Well, you know, I mean, that's the only time Missouri was good in the SEC is when they first came in under with Heupel as their offensive coordinator. I mean, I was scared. I was like, "Holy crap, Missouri's for real!" You know, but
Their
come to
offensive
figure out we got it.
production went skyrocketed with Heupel there. When he left, right back to trash. Right back to trash.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The East wasn't very good at that time anyway.
So I think it's he's a genius, man. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I think 24 25 is my guess. It's going to be our year.
Yeah, and the Heupel changes that offense so much week to week. Like I mean, there's a lot of foundation to it, but there's a lot of things he shows one week and then wrinkles it the next week. So if you adjust to what they're doing from last week, you're going to get burnt. Like prepare to get toasted, because if you go in there going, oh man, they're running motion with the Z, and they're running a counter off of it every so often, and then throwing a wheel route deep off of it. So we need to guard that wheel route. Then he's going to have that wheel route peel off into a slant next week, and you're going to get toasted and look pretty stupid the following week. He's pretty good at that. You got to stay above that and have the athletes to deal with it and bracket it out like Georgia did. Certainly.
Man, Coach Jay, you missed opportunity. I thought you were going to say that they were going to have twins out there on the side or something. I was waiting for it.
I could have. Yeah, no. We'll see a lot of twins. I'm excited to see if we start seeing more empty. Talking about 24, I think we can start to see it more as they get people like Ethan Davis and Eccles into the tight end position that you can really split out into that empty set. But until we have a tight end that can play in space and block, and I'm not talking about Princeton playing space, I'm talking about an elite slot receiver playing space and also block like
Ethan
a tight
Davis.
end. They get a kid.
Can Ethan Davis block?
And or Eccles, and I know they got that 5-star number one tight end that's looking at us right now.
Riddell. And you've also got Max LeBlanc. Do they take 3 tight ends? Do they take Eccles, LeBlanc, and Riddell?
Yeah. So once again, there's just more wrinkles that can come with this offense. And like we've talked about before, that's why they don't play a lot of receivers, because they want to be able to expand and contract. But if you can expand into empty and then contract in a double tight, man, guys, that keep me up at night as a coordinator. That's for sure. Yeah, I know it's exciting. Everyone's like, yeah. Whoop everyone's.
I was rolling through recruiting in my head. Can they land 3 tight ends? Is what I was thinking.
And Coach, I said, us fans were just like, balls by 50 is what you're saying.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm hearing balls by 50 national championship.
Yeah. When you speak, we're always about 2 or 3 minutes behind trying to figure out we're like, okay, that's Coach Talk. Let's figure this out. Okay, what does he mean by that? So so we're always a little bit behind. So that's why our reaction's a little slower.
Now y'all know how I feel when we're doing the film breakdown and Coach Jay goes on this rant, and I'm like, yeah. So anyway, go ahead and smash that thumbs up.
Yeah.
Comment
and subscribe, right?
That's Boogie's way of saying he doesn't know what Coach Jay's.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks, Coach.
Well, that's like me, Coach. Like if I'm playing ball or something like that, so I'm just like, okay, so you want me to come off the screen and catch the inbound pass and shoot the ball, right? All right, I got you. That's all you got to say.
Game. Yeah. You're like, what? Yeah.
Nope.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah, no, I'm excited about this squad, guys. And who knows what we can do. We're going to go as as far as the arm of Joe Milton can carry us to a degree, right? To quote the program once again.
I'm just happy I'm
No.
back on that whole. I'm on the Joe train now. I like it. You know, I was totally against it for a while, but yeah, I'm happy. I'm finally seeing the light. I can see what he can do. I can see that leadership that he's got.
So, what would have to happen for that to reverse in the first 4 games?
One interception.
In the first 4 games.
One interception.
You got Florida in there, but 3 wins.
It would be more than one interception. I mean, you know, for me, because being on, with Nico, thinking that he's the next guy, and then now Joe, and thinking everything, for me to say, okay, well, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah, it would probably be, a 2 interception game and the loss. I'd be done with them. I mean,
like Kenny, it goes back to what I said on one of the previous, fan calling shows. Like I said, I was going to give Joe 4 games. Saying kind of from this past season, kind of bleeding into this season. It was like, okay, Hendon's down, so now you got Vanderbilt. All right, cool. Played well, even though they try to say it was the weather that affected his throwing.
He only threw 1 touchdown against Vanderbilt. We ran the ball like crazy.
I'm with you.
Right. Then game number 2.
Yeah.
You already see game number 2. So I was like, okay. So now going into this season, you got Virginia, then you got Austin Peay. So I'll be like, okay, this is a fresh new season, fresh start. Let's see what you got. I'm going to give him until the Florida game. I say, because you know how I am with Florida. We got to continue to beat Florida, man. They've owned us for far too long. We got to start having our own winning streak of our own, because I'm tired of losing to them every year. I mean, well, we didn't lose them this past season. But, yeah, I'm just, like I said,
they always beat us in the most heartbreaking ways, too.
They do.
When's the last time we won in the swamp?
Since 2001.
Yeah,
was it 1?
Is that long ago?
3 or 1? Yeah, 3 or 1, right? It was
I know it's been a while. I do think if he goes down there and beats Florida and has himself a game, he'll buy himself a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
If he beats Florida,
even if he's
right here.
It's gonna be a legendary moment. Like
I'm not going to call it, but it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't come out and have himself a Heisman year next year, and we're going Hendon who. No disrespect to him, but I was listening to y'all talk about Merklinger. Milton comes out and has himself a year, and he gets drafted first round after only 1 year in the system. We won't have problems getting quarterbacks.
No.
Even if they got to come sit for 2 or 3 years, and I think Merklinger sees that.
Right.
I mean,
because you'll have a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you need is 1 year in the system.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think the question is too is like, what's NIL going to do with this? Because you already see it's kind of causing some conflict. Not a lot, but a little bit in the locker room. So, what's that going to say?
But it's no different than the NFL, right? Like the quarterback's always going to make the most money. Edge rushers, tackles, like skill players, they're always going to make more money no matter what. It's always going to be that way. And I know it's more difficult when you're talking about
all Nico's got to do is
kids.
take his big lineman out.
That's the key right there. I mean, it's just like, it's like training your kids to do certain things at certain ages. You just don't get them to that point because their mind isn't built that way yet to think that way. So, I mean, it's the same thing. These guys are 18, 21 years old, man. They see this money. Oh, my gosh, I mean, they think high on the hog. I mean, what else? I can get more. Let me try. I'm going to, try and push it and push it and push it.
I do think they need to come up with some kind of regulations on it, because if they don't, it's going to destroy college football.
Which is what they should have done before you launched the whole thing, right, Arkansas?
I agree.
You got to have the regulations in place before you start it.
I don't want college football to become like NFL. I don't want college to be like pro.
I'm with you. It's why I love college, right?
And that's the way it's headed.
Yeah. How much of that toothpaste can you put back in the tube, guys? How much of that toothpaste can you put back in the tube right now?
None. You can't. It's gone.
I mean, it's the same theory that we say in my industry. When you dig a hole with the dirt, you put all that dirt back, you got tons of dirt left over. You're not filling that space. It's all sitting on the side still. Every time you dig a hole, you still got a big mess on the side that you still got to clean up, because it's not all fitting back in that hole. It never does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wayne's comment about the offensive line right now, about, he wants to see it with his own eyes, and he's concerned. So is that concern over protecting Joe, or is that concern over the run game? Like I've heard everyone have a level
I think it'd be
of
both.
concern. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I'll be
That's fair.
nervous if I see Joe get hit
I
more
mean,
than
because
twice.
I mean that was.
I'm way more concerned about pass protection than I am run blocking.
Yeah.
Way more concerned.
Yeah,
about
but
that.
if they can't run block and they can't run, then you ain't gonna throw the ball. Ask Pruitt.
No, I think
How
they're
well
gonna
was
be
that for
fine.
him?
I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're gonna be fine run blocking.
We had to ask
way
Pruitt
more
a lot of
concerned.
questions.
Yeah, I remember before that, his first game against West Virginia was the first interview I heard him give because where I was on the road so much, and I looked at my brother-in-law and I'm like, "We're screwed. This is going to be a long 3 or 4 years." I said, "I can't believe they hired this guy. He don't know what he's talking about."
Yeah, when they couldn't line up, guys. Oh my poor Mrs. J. Watching me watch that team when they couldn't even line up, because I mean, anyone who's been around me on a football field and watched me coach, if you can't line up, you can't play football. It's that freaking simple. And the fact that you had an SEC team who couldn't line up and get in position before a play started.
And coming out of timeouts,
man,
coming out of timeouts in the quarters.
There was, my poor TV had several things thrown at it, no doubt about it.
Well,
And there's your watch party idea, Boogie.
There you go. Yeah.
No, get Miss Coach J to film Coach J on the sideline, and we can break it down.
There you go.
I mean, the fact
breakdown with Boogie and Arkansas Vol, Coach J coaching live.
I mean, the fact that, like I said, we lost to, and speaking of going back to BYU, we lost to BYU, yes, that's why I was just like, yeah, it's gonna take us about 5 years.
That stung.
Yep, 5 years.
Because none of us saw this coming. Let me tell you,
No.
at all.
No.
At
I
all.
did think
I
it
thought
was
we'd score
fitting
a lot
that.
of points, but I thought it'd take time. I thought we'd score a lot of points, but I thought.
When they hired Heupel, I was like, it's going to be exciting to watch McKinney build us into what we want to be.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I was thinking 5 years. I was like, oh, great. We're gonna at least I'll be entertained. We might lose, but I'll always be entertained.
Yeah, which is not what has happened since the late '90s, maybe with the exception of 1 or 2 years.
Yep.
But
absolutely.
Yeah, I did think it was fitting that Pruitt's last game would have been against West Virginia, since that's how he started. I think that's a perfect circle. Get out of here.
I mean, the fact, like I say, guys, we came so far, man. The fact that we were celebrating of beating Vanderbilt in the South Carolinas at the time, it was pretty embarrassing. It's pretty embarrassing, but it felt so good because it was like, dude, like, yeah, we sucked for so long. It's like, yeah, can we beat Vanderbilt?
But it comes all the way back to the video earlier that I made about from Josh Pate and the young fans.
We earned it.
That don't know what this football program used to be, and they don't understand what it was like on a Saturday to say, I don't need to watch the game. It's Vanderbilt. It's South Carolina. It's Kentucky. It's going to be a blowout. I can go fishing. I can go do whatever with my buddies. It don't matter.
So maybe this is a minority. Yeah, maybe this is a minority opinion. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me if you disagree or agree. But I think that Jared Gortano would have been bad in Heupel's system also.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I know I'm gonna get a fight right now.
I don't know.
And you know what sold it for me? That fumble on the 1 yard line
that
that
dude.
took back for a touchdown. That's what sold
Tough.
It. He stood in there. He took it. He just couldn't make the plays. But I love the dude. He had a great heart, man. He had a great heart. And every year I was rooting for him.
And he loved Tennessee.
Come on, dude. You got this.
Left way before he did.
That was rough.
Yeah, I'm with Kenny and Robert. Like I said, look, he loved Tennessee, and he did. He played his heart out. But I think the only play that I remember and that I was just like, dude, I was like, I don't know, is when he dropped, when he fumbled the ball at the goal line against Alabama. That's for me. I was like, I said, come on, JG, you come on, man.
It was stupid. He made a stupid decision. We did a watch party. We were watching that live on air when that happened. Holy smokes. What a night when we thought, oh my gosh, are we going to beat Alabama? And then JG goes rogue. The kid was trying to make a play to win a football.
He wanted to be a hero.
Yeah. He did. But he was trying to do what he thought was right.
He
was boneheaded. But
he
if you put him in
something.
Josh Heupel's offense, with Josh Heupel's quarterback development, Coach Jay, you don't think he could have been successful?
Dude, as mobile as he was, yeah, I think he could.
I'll tell you why I personally don't. is because Heupel's offense, a lot of it's predicated off reads and decision making,
Decisions,
and
yeah.
Jared was very slow with his reads and his decision making, and I think it would have been detrimental to him. Do I think he might have been better than what he was? Sure,
please say yes.
But I don't think he would have been.
Could he have
I don't
been
think
worse?
I don't think he would have been good. You know what I'm saying? I guess
He's
that's
in the
what I
NFL
mean.
for a reason, though. He ain't
Yes.
starting.
Now, maybe that's
There's
why.
Coach Jay.
Maybe that's why he ran a lot.
You also got to
because
realize who
what
was
you
coaching
said.
him too.
Yeah, well, he never
That's
had
what I was about to bring
the same
up.
coach every year. I mean, he had a lot of, he went through a tough predicament, and you're right. Maybe he couldn't read, and maybe that's why he ran so much. Maybe he was a little slow
JG
on
had
that.
moments
So.
where he shined. JG had
He
moments
did.
where he shined.
Yeah,
He can throw that bullet, and he can pop it right in those tight pockets. I mean, there's a lot of plays where you're like, that's my boy. I mean.
So
Yeah, he had some raw talent to make some plays.
He threw the touchdown in the end zone when he got his wrist broken. Like, come on, standing in
Yeah.
the pocket.
Sure.
That's a play.
The kid was tough. The kid was tough. So, guys, what's mistake you think was even worse? I say Joe Milton running out of bounds or JG fumbling the ball to go.
JG. Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, the
That
whole
Milton
Milton
play,
thing
the
was
biggest
very
Milton.
Milton was the biggest bonehead.
I don't
Oops,
know.
I didn't realize what was going
I
on.
like to, when he gets out, I like to hear his side of it. See if maybe he forgot the clock. I mean, you don't know.
Well, he
Everything's
said
going
it on
on.
the confidential. He said, He said, I thought we had more time. I was trying to get to the next play. He didn't realize. And he's like,
that was a bonehead play.
The good Lord have mercy. I've never.
I would
on
say
somebody so
JG
fast.
just because it's against Alabama.
With a chance. With a chance. Was it to tie or take the lead? I can't remember. If it was to tie or take the lead.
I thought it was the lead.
I can't remember.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think it was to take the lead.
Yeah, that play reminded me so much of, I think it was Casey Clausen fumbling on the one
against Georgia.
Yeah.
And they took it the other way, scooped and score for a touchdown.
Yeah, and then ended up coming out in the second half, and we forgot to come back out of the locker room.
It was right before the half. Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened too. I said, this is awful.
Arkansas ball. There's only one thing that I can really say to that.
I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just no. There are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none.
Thank you, Arkansas Ball, for bringing that out of me.
No problem.
Oh, just painful.
I'm here
memories.
to help.
Yeah, painful memories.
Numb the pain.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
we're an hour and a half into this thing. I think we're going to wrap it up. I love these fan call-in shows. You guys are the heartbeat of this channel. We appreciate all the support. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, myself, Coach Jay, going to go live at 11:30 a.m. We're going to count down to the commitment of Merklinger at 12:10 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you come hang out, check that out with us. It's going to be a good time. Sunday night, playing NCAA. What do you guys want? We still got 2 weeks of spring practice going into April. I feel like this was the culmination. I felt like it was such a big, we were doing the offensive breakdown, the defensive breakdown. We had Austin Price on, Eric Kane on, and then we did the fan call, and it was like, okay, we're all done. No, we still got 2 weeks of practice to go through in April. So we got the orange and white game coming up. We're going to do a tailgate hangout for that. But what do you guys want? You want some more live streams on Wednesday nights? Is that good for you guys? What do you the fans
Josh
want?
Pate.
Start tagging him on Twitter. I don't know what else I can do other than say, hey, bro, you're going to do this charity giveaway. We're going to raise way more money on my channel. And he just ignores me over and over and over.
I just want Josh Pate to say one time.
I mean, he's from LaGrange area. That's where I'm from. I just don't know the dude.
I don't know what, and I get it. He's huge. So he probably doesn't even see the tweets because he probably gets tweeted at so much. So I would love.
He's got someone that answers them for him.
Yeah,
it's like a dream for Boogie.
It is, man, because that's the ultimate story. Like, look, I love the fact that I get to do this as a job. Like it. I say it all the time, and I don't know if you guys really grasp how much it blows my mind that I get to wake up and do this and jump on with Coach Jay tomorrow and cover recruiting. And I love it. I wake up happy every single day. And like, I have no complaints in life. I'm so happy with what I do. But man, Josh Pate is the ultimate story of a dude that sat in front of a microphone and did the dang thing. Like, nobody's watching the news. People are watching Joe Rogan. People are watching YouTube content creators. That is the world in 2023. And I feel like even what we've done on this channel is changing the game. Like, you can see all these channels popping up, all these Tennessee content creators that are mirroring what we do, and that's great. I hope they make $1 million. I just hope I make 1,000,001. I want to continue to grind and do what we do. But hey, man, there's enough room for everybody. All these other content creators, go do your thing, man. Go do it. Get a microphone and start talking. I encourage anybody that wants to do this to do it. But I'm grateful, man. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Come hang out with me and Coach Jay in the morning. Thank you for the X Factor, for Coach Jay, for my
have a good night.
My number one little nega ball
Thanks,
over there.
guys.
For Kenny Davis, for Noah, for Arkansas Ball, for Seth. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
Appreciate it. See ya.
Take it easy.
That we call home and it's night and I'm alone and